What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Scarlet Witch issue number 3. We have seen that Wanda Maximoff has opened up a witchcraft shop called the Emporium. In addition to selling magical remedies, it is also home to the Last Door, a portal that appears to those with nowhere else to turn. And Wanda has recently reached out to her adoptive sister Polaris. She needs help in identifying a stone that seems to repel all forms of magic. But what is a visit between sisters without a little adventure? So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Polaris arriving at the Emporium, with Wanda and Darcy arriving at the shop. They see that Polaris has already been going over this rock, the two of them embracing each other as sisters do. She gets right into it, letting us know that she analyzed the stone, and it is not a stone. This is an unstable ore. It has the magnetic properties like Mysterium, but way less refined. This would explain why it is able to repel magic in such a manner. And while this does deduce a little bit of what this stone is, we still don't know where it came from. But while they have this discussion, we see that the Last Door opens up. But when it opens, they don't see anybody. Polaris is able to feel some kind of electromagnetic field, like a nut buzzing in an ocean. Wanda, opening up her eyes, she is able to see that there is an astral signature. This one is smaller than small, but it is still alive. It is microscopic. Using a shrinking charm, Wanda and Polaris, they go down to the microscopic. This is where they are introduced to somebody that is from the tinyverse. Her name is Marge. Her home, Trifa, is so small that it is almost inconceivable that it even exists. She believes that she should be dead. Not really sure how she winded up here, Wanda goes on to explain what the Last Door is. And so this young woman, she lets us know that they were attacked by nomadic conquerors, ones that plague Sub-Atomica. And their star system, Nylans, longed for a home. Their invasion was imminent, but their world is one of folklore. They failed to overcome Nylan technology. She is her city's last survivor, unable to even honor their dead. And at this point, she would have given up if not for the myth of the sword in the star, a living blade that once carved their world. Few believe that it exists, but she does, believing that if she could find this, if she could prove to her people that this sword is real, then she could rally all of them to fight back, to repel the Nylans and honor their lost. This is when Wanda lets it be known that if this sword will save your people, then it sounds like they have a quest on their hands. And so the three, they make their way to this sword. They travel through unfamiliar cave systems, through wilderness unknown. They fight against wolves of interstellar rot. They open doors that should be impassable, and they proceed to the very heart of what they are looking for. But when they get there, the only thing they find is dust, a barren altar. And so as this young girl, she cries because this was the last hope, a hope that ended up being a false myth. For ages, she had fought on faith alone. Now that that faith has been slashed away, it has been taken from her. She doesn't know where to turn. But this is the Scarlet Witch that we are talking about. With the assistance of her sister, they decide to change reality. The sword must be real. She calls to Polaris, and they forge a godly weapon. Together with their gifts combined, they make the Sword in the Star, with particles compressed through mutant magnetism, condensed from a higher realms of magic. A new blade is born, spark by spark. Belief has been rekindled, and a myth has become matter. Born in blood, the Sword in the Star awakes, and it goes to work. The Scarlet Witch, Polaris, and now this young woman wielding this sword, they go to clear out all of the Nylans. They go to push them back, past the space wall in the smallest of solar systems. We have witnessed a hero being born. Finally, Trypha's loss can be mourned, in that they witness a funeral rite like no other. Though few survive all of this, they gather to pay their respects to their beloved dead. And so, with the city being free, the Nylons still hold most of Trypha, but they have given this world a fighting chance. While the Scarlet Witch would love to do more, while she would love to wipe away the Nylons and be done with all of this conquering fleet, she knows that they have to fight for themselves. Because when the Scarlet Witch does leave, they have to be able to defend for themselves. She has given them the weapon, she has given them the faith to keep on fighting. And so Trypha must be freed by its own hands. With the quest being complete, we pick up with our sisters on a cliffside in Krakoa. The two of them just chit-chatting, having some coffee, giving sisterly advice and comforting one another and saying that they are going to take care of whatever needs to be done. With Wanda returning back to the Emporium, she finds that this place has been set ablaze. With a giant explosion, not sure if Darcy is inside. This is where we see somebody that has Darcy currently unconscious in her arms, letting the Scarlet Witch know that she belongs to Cynthia, and any who dare defend her must face against her, even a Scarlet Witch. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now this one was relatively quick. The whole battle and the quest in Sub-Atomica, it took place over, I don't know, about 5 or 6 pages. Well, it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. We got to go through the quest very quickly. We got to see that Wanda and Polaris could very easily turn the tide of any battle. Wanda alone could do this. But with her adoptive sister, they are an unstoppable duo. And we're seeing that the Scarlet Witch, she doesn't necessarily use her powers to the fullest extent. She had the capability of pushing back the Nylons all by herself. But they needed the people of Trypha to see that wielding that mythical sword, that was the true source of their power. That faith alone could drive them forward and help them muster the courage to fight against any odds. They did this because the Scarlet Witch knew that when she left, if she had taken care of it all herself, that they would inevitably would have fallen, and that the Scarlet Witch, she would have had to return and she would have had to keep doing this over and over and over again. But while this quest was successful, returning home, her Emporium is on fire and Darcy is being kidnapped. We still don't know much about her past, but we know that she has gotten into some shady corners, not knowing where this mysterious orb had came from. This orb being one of very particular properties. We're about to dive fully into who Darcy is, where she comes from, and what this orb means for the future of Marvel Comics. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with the Scarlet Witch. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.